In this video, I'm going to show you how to get more coaching and consulting and agency clients using what's called an Instagram growth funnel. All right. And this is something you can use if you're a coach, course creator, agency owner, or you sell any type of information or service. All right. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Andre Gonzalez, and I help people get clients using content, DMs, and ads. And I'm kind of known for selling with content and without taking sales calls, but I don't want to get into that right now. And I'm going to explain how all of this is possible in this video. So let us rewind a few years back. I'm going to shrink myself down here to bring up this beautiful diagram in Canva. All right. So I had been doing online marketing since 2007. And it was only a few years back when I started working with a social media business coach to help grow my coaching business. And he was teaching me Facebook organic marketing, right? And I didn't know this at the time, but he was teaching me outdated stuff, right? But I had a feeling in my heart he was sus, because I had been making content since 2007 and I had generated millions of views. And had gotten clients just from people reading my content and from checking out my emails and without taking really any sales calls, right? And so I was pretty successful doing that method. And so this coach I was working with, he was doing the exact opposite, okay? And he was very successful as well. He was doing around $500K a month at his peak. And so how was he doing this? He was amazing at sales calls. All right. He could sell to anyone because he knew all of the high pressure sales tactics that these sales gurus teach. All right. And so if we look at getting a sale and we're trying to figure out where to attribute that sale within a funnel, and if that sounds like mumbo jumbo jargon, I'm going to clarify it for you in a second. All right. So if we imagine his content, it was pretty bad, right? I would say his content did 10% of the sale. Okay. All it did was get attention, which is good. You want to get attention. But most of the sale actually occurred here in this sales call. Okay. And so you have to be a killer salesman, or a killer sales dude, as I like to call them, in order to take a cold prospect, a completely cold prospect, and get them to buy from you in a 45-minute call. And a lot of people are not good at this. And if you've been in any coaching programs before, in any of these like Facebook organic marketing coaching programs, this is the method they'll teach. And this is a very outdated method. Okay. I think Sam Ovens popularized this method in like the 2015s. Okay, it's 2023 now, if you guys are wondering what day it is, all right? And so I knew that this method was a little bit off, okay? But I didn't know why, right? But I knew, I had a feeling I was doing something different. And I'm going to show you what I was doing, and I'm going to show you why it was working so much better, okay? What I was doing was 90% of the sale was in my marketing, right? Was because of my marketing, and 10% of my sale was what I was saying in the DMs and on sales calls. And so eventually over time, I completely took out sales calls altogether because I had built up so much trust and authority through my content. Okay. And I didn't understand how this was all working. And I'm going to just quickly get into the genesis of how this all happened. And if you're watching this and you're brand new to all of this, you've probably X'd out of this video by now. All right. So sayonara, cheers. But if you're still here and you want to understand, like, what is this guy talking about? This is kind of interesting. This kind of might help me. Yes, this is going to help you a lot to grow a stressful online business, stress-free online business. All right. And so I started doing TikTok 2 years ago with my coaching business. And one of my videos popped off, okay? It didn't get 1 million views, but it got like 30,000 views, all right? That's not a lot, right? But this is what's interesting. It was in a small niche, and if you're familiar with TikTok, it has something called a For You page. Now, the For You page is based on what's called the interest graph. And if you don't know, TikTok has revolutionized pretty much all of social media, because prior to TikTok, right, our social media feed, right, our home feed, like what you'd see on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, would be based on what's called the social graph, right? And that would show us content based on people that we follow or people that we're subscribed to, right? But now, because of TikTok, it's based off the interest graph, which is based off our interest, right? And you can see this on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, right? Just go to your home feed and you'll see stuff that you're probably interested in, right? And so with Facebook now, Facebook's really interesting because Facebook pages are now being shown to people based on the interest graph, right? The interest graph algorithm. Whereas Facebook profiles are still being shown based on the social graph algorithm, okay? And so I had this video pop off on TikTok, and what it did is it started showing my other videos to those people who watched that main video in their feed, okay? So let's just kind of paint a picture here. You see a video of me that you like, and you watch the whole thing, and this is all being tracked by these computers in the background, by the AI. And this AI, this algorithm determines, hey, you like this guy's content, let me show you more of this guy's content, okay? And so my other videos start popping up in your feed where I'm talking about the same things I've been talking about, trying to sell you on this thing, right? What do you think that's going to do to you when you get on a sales call with me, right? And so what happened was, it warmed the living daylights out of the prospects I was talking to on calls, and it was so much easier to sell them. And so I specifically remember being on a sales call, and the guy was like, I literally just saw you on my For You page. And I was like, literally a lightning bulb went off in my head. A light bulb and a lightning bolt went off in my head. A lightning bulb, all right? We're making up new words here. And so I didn't have to sell that hard because they were already understanding what I was selling, who I was. They built up trust. I built up my authority with them, right? The only problem was I had to keep making videos every day, and I got burnt out from doing that, right? Like doing a video every day is very, very taxing, right? And so it opened my eyes to something. Like I said, I had the lightning bulb moment. And that kind of became the genesis for me being interested in this Instagram growth funnel strategy, right? And since I had been running ads since 2007, I knew ads could mimic what I had been doing organically on TikTok and even on Facebook, right? And you may be like, why aren't you then doing this on TikTok? You can do this on TikTok as well, but the messaging there is a little screwed up, all right? And the problem with Facebook is you can't use your personal profile to run ads in the way that we need them to, right? So if you're like, why don't you just do this on Facebook, right? And so you can run ads. Yes, you can run ads using a professional profile, right? And that's your personal profile, but you can't do the certain tricks that I'm going to tell you about in this video, right? And so you have to use your Facebook page, right? And there's a whole lot of issues, again, with using your Facebook page and using this method effectively. All right. It can be done, of course. Anything can be done, right? But this just leaves Instagram. All right. And so Instagram is perfect for this method because the DMs are great on there, and it's a video first platform that uses the interest graph. Okay. And because it's using the interest graph, that means people are hooked on that platform in the way people are hooked on TikTok and even YouTube. And so why do I even care about people being hooked on a platform? Okay. I've been growing email lists in different niches, and I've email lists like over 10,000 subscribers, right? And so for many years, that has been the play, right? Get people onto your email list, right? You don't own your social media following. Get people onto your email list, right? Send them emails and they'll eventually buy, right? That works, right? But the problem is it's not working as well as it once did because everyone is doing it, right? Everyone is sending emails, right? And so email open rates have declined, right? And people know they're not going to get any value from your emails, right? You're just going to send them some crap, right? And so traditionally, you'd run an ad, right? I don't know. Can you guys see this? Yeah, you guys can see a little bit of it. So traditionally, you'd run an ad. I'm just going to go down here. You'd run an ad. Here's your ad to a Webby, right? A webinar. And then you'd get the person on a call, right? Book a call. Okay. And so if the person didn't book a call, they'd go to your email list where they'd sit for millennia, right? They'd sit there for ages. And as you probably know, the majority of people are on your email list are not buying anything, right? And so with TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube using the interest graph, right? That's interest graph, not IG, the interest graph. You know, if you get a piece of content in front of someone that they're interested in, right? You'll have their full attention, right? And so attention has become the most powerful commodity in order to sell anything, right? If you have no attention, you have no money, right? And so this is a good segue into the Instagram growth funnel. All right. And so the first thing is your top of funnel, right? Your tofu. Okay. Not the thing you eat. We just call this your top of funnel. This is like a nerdy word marketers made up. Those damn marketers, we should wedgie them. All right. And so this is where you drive people to your Instagram and invite them to follow you. Okay. So you have an ad inviting people to follow you, and you fill up this top of funnel with as many people that are qualified as possible. Okay. And so you're going to create an ad that, and so if you create an ad that attracts a bunch of unqualified people into it, you're going to have problems later on down the funnel. And those problems are going to be no one's buying your stuff. All right. I was going to say another word, but I'm just going to say people are not going to be buying your stuff. All right. And so the second thing is the middle of the funnel. All right. And this is where we'll set up retargeting sequences that show different ad creatives, right? That when viewed in a certain order, give a full picture of you and what you're selling. Okay. And so the way we do this is by targeting people who've watched a certain percentage of our videos. Okay. And this is why you want to use videos, because you can target people based on how much of a video they've watched, right? If it's a static image, we can't target and gauge their retention and thereby how interested they are in using our service, right? And so remember, the more retention we have of someone, right? In other words, the more time they spend with us, the more likely they are a lead for our business. All right. Makes sense? Everyone, makes sense? All right, great. I'm totally pretending there's an audience here. And so, for example, this is kind of like a little basic example. We'll have our top of funnel ad inviting people to follow us, right? Based on the desired result that they may have, right? Say we're a fitness coach. We'll say like, hey, if you're a mom and you want to lose 50 pounds in the next 3 weeks, follow me and I'll show you how to do that. Right? That's just terrible ad copy. Do not use that. And all the overweight moms are going to follow you. And then what's going to happen is we're going to start hitting them with our retargeting sequences in the middle of the funnel, as well as our DM ads at the bottom of the funnel to get them into a conversation, to sell them our program. All right. And so what happens from the prospect's point of view is they're seeing your content every time they log into IG. Okay. And they're not just seeing typical ads that where you're like, hey man, watch my free training, right? They're seeing different pieces of content that are actually valuable and perspective shifting. All right. And I hope some lightning bulbs are going off for you guys, because if you've done organic marketing in the past and you've done it well, and if you haven't done it well, I can show you how to do it, right? I'll show you how to do this, son, right? If you've done organic marketing and you've done it well, right, you'll know how powerful organic marketing is, right? And so what we've essentially done is we're using ads to mimic organic marketing, right? Just like what I was doing on TikTok, right? Is this making sense, guys? Yes. Yes, I'm imagining all the yeses out there. Thank you, guys. Amazing. Great. I'm glad this is working. All right. And so this is the reason why the IG growth funnel works so well, right? Because what happens is all these people over time become indoctrinated to your message and the way you sell and the way your system works and the way your process is. And over time, they go from top of funnel, complete strangers not knowing what the heck you do, to fully understanding your process, your systems, your methodology, and then actually understanding who you are as a person, right? A huge thing a lot of people miss is you have to be the kind of person that people want to work with, right? It does not matter even what you're selling, right? Everyone's selling the same thing. We could all be selling the same thing on earth, right? And if AI takes over, we might all be selling the same thing on earth, right? And what is going to be the differentiator is the person selling it, right? And so this is where you get this concept that you are the niche. I'm not going to get into that in this video, right? I'm going to stay on track. Andre, stay on track. All right. And so this funnel works really well because, again, it mimics organic marketing. Okay. And so the key is the secret that if you're going to use this funnel, okay, you need to make sure you have your messaging dialed in. Okay. And your messaging, if you don't know what that means, it means what you're actually saying to people at different awareness levels within your funnel. Okay. And so you have to work with a messaging master to get this right. And if you need to get this done, you know how to hit up. All right. You know who's a messaging master out here. And so who would I recommend this funnel for? All right. So if you're running ads to a webinar and you're finding lead cost going up, right? I wouldn't turn off my webinar funnel completely. What I would do is set up an IG growth funnel as a way to diversify and nurture my audience. All right. Remember, 97% of people are not ready to buy right now. All right. What are you doing with those 97% of people? Right. They're just dying on your email list. Right. Hit them up with some content. All right. And so instead of being focused on generating new leads, right, we need to start being focused on nurturing the leads we already have. All right. And this is something that the IG growth funnel does really well. Now, if you're doing organic on Instagram and it's going well, the IG growth funnel will be like steroids to what you're already doing. All right. And if you're on another platform, right, if you're on Facebook and you're doing the whole Facebook organic marketing thing, the IG growth funnel is something you should diversify into because in the long term, it's going to be the most scalable solution for getting clients, right? And you simply cannot do this elegant retargeting with your personal profile, as I mentioned, right? And so I know this is a long video. I don't know how long we've gone here, but I've given you guys a lot to chew on in this video. If you need help installing this into your business, click the link below to apply to work with me or send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram. Would love to help you out. Take care, guys.